And we're back with the magical power of editing. Nothing ever happened.
That's right.
There was never a phone call.
We paused for station identification.
There's not the droids you're looking for.
Those were the droids I was looking for.
God damn it, I knew it! Anyways.
We were talking about...
games that you do now, that you make yourself.
I'd started speaking about Robot Dash, which has the one-to-one correlation with the poker deck and whatnot. It is much easier to play if you're playing with the printed cards, because all the rules are right on there. But there are free instructions right online. I'll have you link my Facebook page.
It'll all be down here.
That way people can play if they want to try, because free game. The other family-friendly ones, there's Fendong, which is amusing to say. But it's actually the Chinese word for to flip, which is what you do during the game. It's a pattern-making game, kind of in the vein of like Reversi or Othello, something like that. But it does have a chaos element because there's a little die involved. Very quick and easy to learn. It's actually, once I do a demo of that game, people like it a lot.
It's easy to pick up on. Like you watch him show you how to play it, and it's like that.
Yeah, it's like a 30 seconds to 1 minute demo for the entire game.
Right, exactly.
There's also procedurally generated monsters, which is currently a convention exclusive, which is a solo game for one-to-one player. That takes off on the whole idea of, in video games, you fight against monsters that look the same and they just have a little bit different ability, but it's the same thing over and over that you keep fighting. And it plays on that, but it allows you to also progress your characters as the monsters get a little tougher. And it's actually quite challenging. Even in playtesting, I only won about half the time, and I knew what I was doing.
He created the game.
Yeah. Those are the family-friendly ones. Then we move to the PG-13 type stuff. Small Town Secrets is a deck-building game, which, for those that are not familiar with deck-building games, when you have a standard game, you're either drawing all off the same deck, or a collectible card game where you build your own individual deck and you don't mix cards with other people. In a deck building game, you start with your individual deck, and everybody's deck will be exactly the same. And as you play, you purchase cards from a communal pile, kind of. And those go into your discard pile, and when you run out of deck, you shuffle your entire discard pile, including those new powerful cards that you purchased, back into your deck, making a brand new deck. So it changes the game. It's a different game every single time. But that game is basically a murder mystery type game where everybody is in this small town and a murder happens. It is based more than just a little bit on Twin Peaks, which I highly recommend if you have not watched it. But you have a dark secret, and people are trying to find out your dark secret. Your dark secret might be that you are the killer. It was totally him. But interesting little game. There's a lot of replay value because you can get the different characters, especially with the expansion. The expansion adds a lot more characters. And because the combination of their abilities, plus the secrets that you can get that are really powerful, the cards that come up that are buyable, that you buy from the pile to add to your discard pile, it's different every game. And so it changes quite a bit. It can be quite a bit of fun, but it is a more complex game. And the reason that I say that it's PG-13 is because the secrets themselves are all based on the 7 deadly sins. So you'll have wrath, you'll have sloth, you'll have lust, you'll have gluttony. And because of that, I don't think that most of the parents want to try to explain, oh, this is what lust is. So that's why I stick it in the PG-13 category. The other one that I put in the PG-13 category is the only one that is not completely original, and that is my third-party parody expansions for Cards Against Humanity. It's called Cults Attempt Hokey Pokey, and I have one larger 50-card deck that is just a mishmash of stuff, and currently 11 mini sets that are each themed. You've got stuff like, here's a cult movie set, here's video games, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Doctor Who, Supernatural, a little bit of everything. And generally I will not make a mini set if I'm not a fan of whatever the mini set is themed on, so that I know that it's, number one, respectful, number two, funny, And I aim more for the funny wit rather than the here we're being obnoxious or rude or
Raunchy.
yeah, going for the cheap thrill instead going for the this makes sense, and because I'm a fan of this is really funny. That's what I'm aiming for, and people tend to agree with how I've done thus far, and so
We played around today, and it was fun. I mean, his stuff is funny. I'll give him some credit. What's for the last thing? We'll do favorites. So I'm just gonna throw some stuff. All right. Okay, movie.
That is actually tough because I like a heck of a lot of movies. Slightly older movie that I'll always enjoy just because of the feel that it gives me is Dave.
I love that movie.
That's a fantastic movie.
So many people haven't seen that. Oh my god!
It's the kind of America I want to live in. I want to live in America that has that type of guy as president.
How did you know I wasn't your what did you say? How do you know I wasn't your husband? My husband hasn't looked at me that way in a long time.
Yep. That was a good flick, and anytime I see it on, I will definitely watch it. I did very much like Civil War. I want to watch it again so I can decide exactly how much was hype that made me like it, how much was what they did right. I want to see it a little less biased than I did.
Okay, we'll go to something else.
Yeah, because I'm horrible and indecisive when it comes to that stuff.
Book.
Currently, my favorite books would probably be the Artemis Fowl series.
Okay.
Those are definitely a lot of fun. I read them voraciously. They were just really, really quick and fun reads. I know they're aimed at young adults.
You're a young adult.
Your mom's a young adult.
Not true. He lies.
But it just made it an easy read. It made it fun. I definitely recommend them. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you want something a bit meatier, go with any of Neil's stuff, because Neil does amazing stuff.
Neil Diamond?
Yes, Neil Diamond.
Sweet
Caroline, the novel, soon to be made into a movie.
Okay.
It's got an A-list Hollywood cast.
Who would you cast in a Sweet Caroline movie?
I would have to cast my little sister as the lead role because her name is Caroline, and I'm fairly certain that is why she was named Caroline. I also call into evidence the fact that the other Neil Diamond song, Holly Holy, my older sister's name is Holly.
You have another sister?
I do.
What the
And now you know.
The more you know.
That's correct.
Well,
they're both phenomenal, and I'm sorry that you have not met my older sister yet. She was at RodCon.
it's like my whole life has been a lie up until this point.
You're just realizing that.
Do you have a brother? Do you have parents? You're a test tube child.
I do not have a brother. I have many brothers from other mothers, but I do not have a biological brother.
Do you have any children?
I certainly hope not.
Do you have any illegitimate children?
People have been doing things to me that I don't know about, which they should let me know about because that's just more fun.
What?
Exactly.
We'll call that good for now. We have about 11 minutes of footage, but we're live here from the side of the road.
Yup.
We'll be here all night.
That's right.
Hopefully not.